Ancient Egypt. Imagine standing before monuments so enormous that even today, thousands of years later, engineers still debate how they were built. Imagine a civilization so advanced that it created one of the world's first writing systems, mastered engineering, mapped the stars, and ruled for over 3,000 years. This was not a legend. This was ancient Egypt. Along the fertile banks of the Nile River, one of the greatest civilizations in human history rose from the desert and transformed the ancient world forever. Its rulers were believed to be living gods. Its temples reached toward the heavens. Its pyramids became symbols of eternity. But behind the golden treasures and magnificent monuments lay a kingdom filled with power, ambition, mystery, and sacrifice. How did ancient Egypt become one of history's greatest empires? And what secrets still remain buried beneath its sands? This is the incredible story of the empire of gods and kings. Welcome to History Uncovered. Around 3100 BC, the land along the Nile River was divided into two separate kingdoms, Upper Egypt in the south and Lower Egypt in the north. For generations, these kingdoms competed for power and control over the fertile river that gave life to the surrounding desert. Then, according to ancient tradition, a powerful ruler known as King Narmer, often identified with Menes, united the two kingdoms into a single nation. This historic event marked the birth of ancient Egypt as one of the world's first great civilizations. The Nile River became the heart of Egyptian life. Every year, its waters flooded the surrounding land, leaving behind rich, fertile soil perfect for farming. While much of the region was covered by harsh desert, the Nile provided food, transportation, and prosperity. Without the river, ancient Egypt could never have existed. As villages grew into cities, Egypt became wealthier and more organized. At the center of this growing kingdom stood the pharaoh. To the Egyptian people, the pharaoh was far more than a king. He was believed to be chosen by the gods and served as the bridge between heaven and earth. His duty was to protect the kingdom, maintain order, and ensure that the gods continued to bless Egypt with peace and prosperity. Every decision made by the pharaoh shaped the future of the empire. As Egypt became stronger, its rulers began constructing monuments unlike anything the world had ever seen. The greatest of these were the pyramids. Built as royal tombs, the pyramids were designed to prepare pharaohs for eternal life. The Egyptians believed that death was not the end. Instead, it was the beginning of another journey. To survive in the afterlife, the body had to be carefully preserved. This belief gave rise to one of history's most fascinating traditions: mummification. Highly skilled priests spent weeks preserving the bodies of kings and queens through an extraordinary process. Internal organs were carefully removed and stored in special containers known as canopic jars. The body was dried using natural salt, wrapped in fine linen, and placed inside beautifully decorated coffins. Every step was performed with great care because the Egyptians believed the soul would one day return to its body. As centuries passed, Egyptian architecture became even more impressive. Massive temples rose along the Nile. Towering columns were carved with sacred symbols. Walls were covered with colorful scenes showing battles, ceremonies, and offerings to the gods. Among Egypt's greatest achievements was the construction of the Great Pyramid of Giza, built during the reign of Pharaoh Khufu around 2560 BC. Originally standing nearly 147 meters tall, it remained the tallest man-made structure on Earth for almost 4,000 years. Even today, historians and engineers continue to study how millions of enormous stone blocks were transported and assembled with remarkable precision. Nearby, the mysterious Great Sphinx guarded the pyramids with its silent gaze. Carved from a single piece of limestone, the Sphinx became one of history's greatest symbols of mystery. Who built it? Why was it created? Many questions remain unanswered. Religion shaped every part of Egyptian life. The Egyptians worshipped hundreds of gods and goddesses. Ra, the sun god, was believed to sail across the sky each day. Osiris ruled over the afterlife. Isis represented motherhood, magic, and protection. The people believed these powerful deities controlled nature, life, and death. Priests performed daily rituals inside magnificent temples, offering food, incense, and prayers to keep harmony between the gods and humanity. Meanwhile, Egyptian scribes carefully recorded laws, taxes, religious texts, and royal achievements using a unique writing system known as hieroglyphics. For centuries, these mysterious symbols remained unreadable until the discovery of the Rosetta Stone helped scholars unlock their meaning thousands of years later. By the height of its power, ancient Egypt had become one of the richest and most influential civilizations on Earth. Its armies protected vast territories. Its merchants traded gold, ivory, papyrus, and precious stones with distant kingdoms. Its architects built monuments that continue to amaze the modern world. Yet behind this extraordinary success, powerful rival kingdoms were beginning to emerge beyond Egypt's borders. The empire that had stood strong for centuries was about to face challenges unlike any it had ever known. As ancient Egypt entered its golden age, its influence spread far beyond the Nile River. Powerful pharaohs expanded the kingdom through diplomacy, trade, and military campaigns. Egypt became one of the wealthiest civilizations of the ancient world, admired for its magnificent temples, skilled craftsmen, and vast treasures. Among its greatest rulers was Ramesses II, often remembered as Ramesses the Great. During his long reign, Egypt reached the height of its power. He ordered the construction of enormous temples, giant statues, and impressive monuments that still stand today. His victory at the Battle of Kadesh became one of the most famous military achievements of the ancient world. But Egypt's true strength was not measured only by its armies. Its greatest power came from knowledge. Egyptian doctors performed surprisingly advanced medical treatments. Architects designed buildings that survived for thousands of years. Astronomers carefully observed the stars to create calendars that guided farming and religious festivals. Their understanding of mathematics and engineering allowed them to build structures that continue to puzzle experts even today. Yet even the mightiest civilizations cannot escape the passage of time. After centuries of prosperity, political conflicts began weakening the kingdom. Some pharaohs struggled to maintain control. Powerful nobles gained influence. Foreign invasions became more frequent. The once unstoppable empire slowly began to lose its strength. New powers such as the Assyrians, Persians, and later the Greeks challenged Egypt's dominance. Then came one of the most famous names in history, Cleopatra VII. Often remembered simply as Cleopatra, she became the last active pharaoh of ancient Egypt. Intelligent, highly educated, and fluent in several languages, Cleopatra fought desperately to protect her kingdom during a time of great political uncertainty. She formed alliances with powerful Roman leaders, including Julius Caesar and later Mark Antony, hoping to preserve Egypt's independence. But Rome had become too powerful. In 30 BC, after the defeat of Cleopatra and Mark Antony, Egypt was absorbed into the growing Roman Empire. An empire that had lasted for more than 3,000 years had finally come to an end. Yet Egypt itself was never truly forgotten. Its temples remained hidden beneath drifting sands. Its tombs protected incredible treasures. Its forgotten language waited silently to be understood once again. Centuries later, explorers and archaeologists uncovered astonishing discoveries that brought ancient Egypt back into the spotlight. The discovery of Tutankhamun's tomb in 1922 revealed breathtaking golden treasures that had remained untouched for over 3,000 years. Meanwhile, the Great Pyramids continued to dominate the desert skyline, standing as one of humanity's greatest achievements. Even today, historians continue to debate many of ancient Egypt's greatest mysteries. How were the pyramids built with such extraordinary precision? What hidden chambers still lie beneath the sands? How many royal tombs remain undiscovered? Despite centuries of research, many questions remain unanswered. That mystery is one of the reasons ancient Egypt continues to fascinate millions of people around the world. Its monuments, mythology, inventions, and remarkable achievements remind us that great civilizations may rise and fall, but their legacy can survive for thousands of years. Ancient Egypt was far more than a kingdom. It was an empire of vision, innovation, and belief. A civilization that transformed history and left behind wonders that continue to inspire humanity. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this journey through one of history's greatest civilizations, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to History Uncovered, and turn on the notification bell for more fascinating history documentaries. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and keep uncovering history.